Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another broadcast here with us at BWE Live. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak. We would like to welcome everybody to our live broadcast, our Google Hangout here at Black Wealth Empowerment Live. Sit down, get comfortable. Brothers and sisters, we have a very, very special broadcast for you tonight. We're so excited that you're here, but we hope that you're excited for being here as well. So once again, get comfortable, and we're going to get started, and we're going to have our guests come on very, very, very shortly. But as always, my name is Daryl Muhammad, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, Mosque number 45. And I have my co-host, the host with the most, the brother that's been on tour for the last year plus, promoting the Teachings 2.0 by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I have my brother, your brother, Mr. Jesse Muhammad. Brother Jesse Muhammad, brother, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am, Brother Daryl. Assalamu alaikum, family. Welcome again to another Black Wealth Empowerment Google Hangout. Wealth for Our Nation series continues, and we have, as Brother Daryl stated, a wonderful, exciting guest tonight. But you know, as always, we want you to do something for us. We want you to become a member of the elusive, exclusive Facebook group. And how can you do that? First, you can do this by typing in, going into your URL. We want you to type in the URL livevirtualnetworking.com. That's livevirtualnetworking.com, and that will take you to the elusive exclusive Facebook group. Also, you can type inside of the search engine in Facebook, Black Wealth Empowerment. That's Black Wealth Empowerment. And you send us a request. We want to invite you into this elusive, exclusive Facebook group. And if you're wondering what you should do when you get inside that group, Brother Daryl is about to tell you right now.
Brothers and sisters, what we want you to do, as always, we want you to participate. This is called Black Wealth Empowerment Live, which means you have to participate in order to be wealthy. So we want you to participate. Brothers and sisters, as always, we want you to introduce yourself in this live virtual networking. We're networking in this platform. So we want you to do a couple of things. One, we want you to give us your name, what city you're from, the mosque, and your business, company, organization, or whatever you do for a living. We have to get to know each other. The process of this platform is to connect us together, those of us of like mind. So we definitely need for you to do that. Introduce yourself to the rest of the members in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group. If this is your first time or your 1000th time, we need for you to put your name, your name, your city, all right, what mosque you're from, and your business. Now, business owners, this is for you. Put whatever you want in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group. Put that in right now, whatever you want, free advertisement, because we're participating in a giver's economy. More about that later. But go ahead and put in your business information, your affiliation, and what you do for a living if you don't have a business, so we can patronize you and we can circulate the dollar within our own nation. So with that being said, Brother Jesse, go ahead and let's give some shout outs to some new members. Let's see who's in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group.
Yes, sir, Brother Dow. And before we do that, again, y'all always know we want you to pay it forward, like Brother Dow said. We're in a giver's economy. So if you're looking at this broadcast right now, you see all of these wonderful buttons that are right above your head, right above the broadcast, rather. We have Facebook. We have Twitter, Google+. We got LinkedIn. We got Pinterest. Look, Brother Dow made sure we have eliminated all excuses. You can share it everywhere. And we want you to let everybody know that you are live now with Black Wealth Empowerment. But let's go ahead and start welcoming some of our brothers and sisters who are eager to get inside the group. As always, we want to thank Brother Darren and Sister Jennifer of Phoenix, Arizona, Mars number 32. They're the first ones to leave a comment in today's Facebook group, elusive exclusive group. Thank you so much, our consistent brother and sister. So Here are those, Brother Dow, who want to be welcomed into the group. We want to welcome Sister Keisha Muhammad. Sister Keisha Muhammad, want to thank you so much, sister. Welcome to the Elusive Exclusive Group. Brother Jabari X of Kansas City, Missouri. He is now officially a part of the group. Brother Ronald 2X. Brother Ronald 2X, he says our brother is the owner of operator at Together We Can. Man, I'm looking forward to hearing about that. Sister Carla Muhammad. She says she works at I'm a Muslim and I'm proud. Wait a minute, I think we all work there. Go ahead, Sister Carla. And we want to welcome Sister Tasha X, University of Missouri in St. Louis. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now again, if we have welcome, we need you to do a couple things for us. We want you to put your name, your city, your mosque number, and your business venture that you are a part of. We want to put your name, your mosque number, your city, and the business venture that you're a part of. And it's because why? This is what this group is all about: networking, promoting one another, and supporting one another. So that's who we have, Brother Dow, thus far into the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group. Back to you, my brother.
All right, all right. Well, welcome all the new members, welcome. We're happy that you've joined us. We're up over, I don't know, Brother Jesse, what's the count? Over 155 members now. Yes. So we're definitely moving in the right direction, brothers and sisters. Our goal is to reach 300 members in the private Elusive Exclusive Facebook group before the Holy Day of Atonement in October. We're well on our way. We should definitely hit that and exceed that, but we can't do it without your help. We can't do it without your help. So once again, we need for everybody to participate. We need for everybody to get involved in the process of building the Black Wealth Empowerment Google Hangout platform and building each other business and connecting with each other. So once again, right above your head, you'll be able to see, right above our heads, I should say, you'll see the like button for Facebook. You'll see the share button. You'll see the Twitter button. You'll see all the icons right above your head, so you will be able to see, share with your audience in those platforms exactly what you're doing. So you want to type in the Facebook share button. You want to put in there, BWE is live. BWE is live. Please join us. Type that into the Facebook share, and also type that into the Twitter share. All right? So go ahead and do that right now, brothers and sisters, as you enter your name and as you enter your name, what city you're from, your mosque, and your business. We need to do that right now. We need to hear from everybody because we're quickly approaching to a very part of our program this evening. So let me know who's participating over there, Brother Jesse, in the private Elusive Exclusive Facebook group.
Yes, sir, Brother Dow. And I see our guest is on deck looking bright and smiling. We have Sister Brandy Muhammad. She has left a comment. Go ahead, Sister Lee. What city and your mosque and what business venture that you are a part of? We want to hear from you. We have Sister Charlotte Muhammad of Muhammad Mosque number 32. Our sister is the owner of Majestic Designs, LLC. Our sister providing interior design, solutions, organization, and beautiful soft goods. Also, she's a modest fashion designer for women. Wait a minute now. I don't think you heard all that, Brother Dow. Look at all this wonderful unwrapped gifts we have in the nation. And of course we have, I always got to fix my tie for this one, my beloved wife, Sister Sharifa Muhammad of Houston, Texas. Muhammad Mosque number 45 is in the house. Soul Purpose Lifestyle Visionary, and she is a blogger of Nature's Medicine Cabinet, and she has provided the link inside. And also we got them coming in. So Sister Brandy, now she is extended. It's Sister Brandy and Brother Craig. We have another dynamic duo on deck. They are the owners of JNY Bakery and Catering Company. And you can visit them on Facebook, on Twitter, as well as on their website that they have provided. Welcome, Sister Brandy and Brother Craig. So that's what we have going in the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group. Now, again, brothers and sisters, if you're inside the group, if you're watching, we want you to become a member of this group by typing in live livevirtualnetworking.com. That's livevirtualnetworking.com. And if we see you clicking like on Brother Rasul's page or Brother Dow's page or my page, and you want to become a part of this group, just type inside of the Facebook search engine Black Wealth Empowerment, and we want to invite you on in. Come on inside of this group where we're promoting the businesses and the greatness of the unwrapped gifts of our nation. So that's what we have going, Brother Dow.
All right. Thank you so very much, brothers and sisters, for participating. And once again, brothers and sisters, if you're in business, make sure you put your link there. Make sure you put your URL to your website there. And let me just say very quickly, hopefully have Sister Shanita Muhammad on, who has the web company. Brothers and sisters, if you're in business, you definitely need a website. You definitely need a website. Get with our sister Shanita Muhammad. Sister, if you're out there, we need to hear from you in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group. I talked with her, I believe it was yesterday. We had a very extensive conversation, and she is very, very good at what she does. Once again, like Brother Jesse said, another unwrapped gift. So brothers and sisters, please, if you're in business, you have to have a website. I believe it was Warren Buffett or Bill Gates. One of those said a business that's not on the internet is not in business. So we definitely have that, brothers and sisters. Here, let me just share with you as we move very, very quickly to our special guest. And I see he's there. He's ready to deliver a very, very powerful nation. He's part of our series called Wealth for Our Nation. But here's what we need to understand, brothers and sisters, what this platform is all about. This platform is designed to unwrap the gifts that we have here in the Nation of Islam and in our community as a whole. This platform is one point where we all can come on a designated time so that we can introduce and get to know each other, and we can learn the social media marketing habits that's necessary in order to use those media platforms for the success of our business. The activity that you're doing right now, brothers and sisters, is exactly what you need to do if you have a business and you want to market on social media. You interact directly with people. You get involved in conversations. You get them to exchange and participate. These are all skill sets that our brother Jesse is going to package for us and bring to us on future broadcasts. But we're going to bring all the tools and all the pieces of the puzzle together that you need, brothers and sisters. You need a website. You need to understand that. You need to understand how to build a list. You need to understand how to market to that list. You need to understand these different dynamics that are required. You need to understand about a merchant account, PayPal and PowerPay and Infusionsoft and all these companies that exist for e-commerce. You have to know these things. And what we're going to do, we're designed here, and our purpose is to simplify the process. Simplify the process so you can understand what it takes. Because, you know, brothers and sisters, many times we don't get involved. Many times we don't take the necessary steps because we just don't have any information. And they say in sales, a confused mind never buys. Let me say that again, and please hashtag that right now in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group. Hashtag a confused mind never buys. A confused mind never buys. So if a person is confused, they're not going to buy. And what buy means is really they're not going to make a decision. They're not going to make a decision. So a confused mind does not make a decision. And many times, brothers and sisters, when you don't make a decision, it's to your own detriment. So we're going to help you with that. We're going to help you to understand exactly what's required. And please believe me, brothers and sisters, it's not as complicated as you think. It's because we don't have the information that we need. That's why we imagine in our minds that it's difficult. So once again, remember, our platform here initially is to do three things: to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan by stimulating the economic consciousness of the believers. To stimulate the economic consciousness of the believers. That's the number one purpose of this broadcast. Number two purpose is to help us to understand what wealth is and what it is to be wealthy. Not have wealth, but be wealthy. When you become something, it's a totality of your being. Having wealth is just a portion. And that's why we wanted to bring the speakers on that we have brought on and we continue to bring on so they can help us to understand really what wealth is. This world wants us to think wealth is materialism, and it's a part of wealth. But without any health, you really have no wealth. So, brothers and sisters, that's number 2. To understand what wealth is and to help us to be wealthy, not just have wealth. And number 3 is to make sure we understand that it is necessary for our nation, for us to be wealthy so we can contribute to our nation. It is necessary to be wealthy, and it is worth it. If it wasn't worth it, so many people wouldn't be wealthy, and they wouldn't be in the pursuit for wealth if it wasn't worth the sacrifice necessary. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it like this. He said he's the richest man in the world because he was given a nation. He was given a nation. So he was definitely the wealthiest man in the world. So, brothers and sisters, we're going to move quickly, but we need to hear from you. We need to know who's out there. We need to have an idea that you're out there because we're ready to bring on our very, very, very special guest. But we want to make sure you're out there. We want to make sure you're paying attention. We want to make sure you're listening. So once again, we need for you to let us know you're here. Say, I'm here. Type in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group. Say, I'm here and I'm ready to hear from our guest. Say, I'm here and I'm ready to hear from our guest. Brother Jesse, let me know what's going on in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group. What's going on over there, Brother Jesse? Brother Jesse, you there? Okay, look like we lost Brother Jesse. He'll be popping on back here soon, very shortly. So, brothers and sisters, what we need for you to do, right above the video here, right above my head, you see those icons. Once again, click on the Facebook like, click on the Facebook share, and it's going to allow you to type a message. We want you to put in there, BWE is live and our guest is ready. BWE is live and our guest is ready. And same thing in the Twitter. You click on the Twitter box, it will open up. You type in BWE is live and our guest is ready. Hit the Pinterest, Instagram, click all those that are above so we can let the whole world know in cyberspace and the social media platforms that BWE is live and we're getting ready to hear from our very, very special guest. Brothers and sisters, we want to continue to solicit your support. We want to continue to get you to participate, and we want you to go in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group and connect with each other. As we wait for Brother Jesse to come back on, we want you to connect with each other. Connect with those that are in the group, because those in the group are of like minds, just like you and I. All right? So those are the ones that you want to network with. Those are the ones that you want to connect with, not just now during the broadcast, but you want to continue to do that throughout the week. I see our Brother Jesse is back. Brother Jesse, you're back?
Yes, sir, I am, brother. I don't know what's going on today.
Must be that AT&T, right?
Look, we need to find a Muslim immediately to develop our own internet and cable company, because AT&T is not being kind to the Muslims this month at all. We need somebody to develop that immediately, brothers and sisters. But yes, sir, I'm back, and we got a lot of activity in the Facebook group, brother.
All right, well, let us hear about the activity that's going on as we quickly move to our special guest. Let us know what's going on over there, Brother Jesse.
Yes, sir. Well, Sister Nita wants to let you know that our sister, who is over made-to-order-sites.com, she is definitely in the house. Muhammad Maz, number 30, out of Kansas City, Missouri. Welcome, Sister Nita. Also, Brother Reginald, Sister Yavanka. That's the dynamic duo of motivational speakers and artists from Muhammad Maz, from Maz Mariam in Chicago headquarters. These brothers and sisters, Yeah, powerful on the microphone. Welcome, family, to the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group. We want to welcome Sister Cheryl Sharp Muhammad. She's a photojournalist and a believer in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. But she's originally from Gary, Indiana. I didn't know you know that existed, Brother Darrell. She's from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, brother. A photojournalist. Who knew? Ain't that beautiful? Also, our beloved brother,
Mr. Gary, Indiana is.
Come on now, teach. I did too. And also, our brother, Mr. Consistent himself, Brother Rodney Assad Muhammad of Phoenix, Arizona, the author. And I got my copy in the mail over the weekend. The author of Married to an MTT. And he's also an international speaker, a trainer, and a mentor. And we want to thank everybody that's watching the broadcast. They actually posted the hashtag A Confused Mind Never buys. So we got the activity buzzing, and I think we're ready for our main speaker, Brother Dow. Back to you, my brother.
All right, I'm glad you mentioned it. Brother Assad, welcome. Sister Nita, welcome. Everybody, welcome to Black Wealth Empowerment Live Google Hangout. I forgot my books. I told you when I received my books from Brother Assad, I was going to bring them and hold them up so you can get them, and I forgot them. But I'll bring them next week. But brothers and sisters, you want to get that CD that the brother did called Meet the Goal. It is powerful. The production is of the highest quality, brothers and sisters. Go to noispeaker.com, noispeaker.com, and patronize your brother. Patronize him. We should be involved in personal development. That is a prerequisite to wealth, brothers and sisters. We're going to get into that more in the next broadcast. We're going to start breaking down what's required for wealth, and it all starts with the mind, the mindset. So definitely go to noispeaker.com. You go there, order the brother's CDs and his books because they're powerful, and it's from one of our own. So we know the perspective in which he's sharing this information from. So we want to thank you. Now, business owners, talk to business owners. You have to participate in the process. Why? Because you are learning the habits of proper social media marketing. By you pressing the tabs above, by you hashtagging in Twitter, and hashtagging on Facebook, and hashtagging and entering into the private elusive exclusive Facebook page. That's exactly what you would do, but just for your business. So this is basically a school that you're enrolled in. You're enrolled in the social media marketing school for business owners and entrepreneurs and speakers. So, Brother Jesse, for those speakers, we want you to participate. We're putting together a platform of speakers. We're putting together a platform of speakers. So, brothers and sisters in Chicago, make sure you reach out to Brother Jesse. We're going to share with you more of the benefits of joining our speakers platform, okay? By joining our speaker platform, there's definitely benefits in the membership. So we're going to share that with you here in a couple of minutes, okay? But we want to move quickly because our brother is anxiously waiting. I've been talking to this brother all week, and he's been spilling the beans, if you will, and sharing with me some of the powerful message that he's going to bring about wealth for our nation. Wealth for our nation. We can't have enough wealth when you're building a nation that's going to last forever. Brother Jesse, one last time, let's go over to you and see what's happening in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group. Brothers and sisters, if you're ready for our speaker, type in the group right now. I'm ready. I need for everybody to type in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group and say, I'm ready. I'm ready. Brother Jesse, you still there?
Oh, yes, sir, I'm here, brother. Look, this Facebook group is buzzing like they watching Brother Rasul back when he was on the Shock of the Hour tape in 1993, 94, brother. They excited. Everybody's on the edge of their tweets, brother. They're ready and fired up. And I want to shout out a couple more people who are on deck and ready. Brother Michael Carlos Muhammad, he is ready, and he said he's on deck. We have Sister Carla now. Our Sister Carla, who is the baker, I don't even want you to go to the Facebook page, Brother Darren. Look at what she has posted, what she ate. Navy bean ice cream. Sister, the sun ain't down yet. You can't do us like that. But Sister Salome, our beloved sister of Chicago, she's a national director of Five Links Enterprises. We want to welcome her back, who provides essential services in the areas of reducing household expenses. I think we all need a little bit of service, but I think it's unanimous, Brother Dow. Everybody is ready. We on deck. We're ready to hear from our main speaker. Let's go ahead, my brother.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, let me just welcome everybody. Sister Carla, I'm happy that you finally was able to make it. And Brother Jesse, I've seen her pictures before. I've been reaching out to that sister for several months because, I mean, what she does is just amazing. I haven't tasted the food, but just the pictures are appetizing, you know. So happy to have you, Sister Carla, and everybody else that joined us. You are in for a treat. You are in for a treat. So let me not delay any longer for the word that we need to hear tonight. Brothers and sisters, we are on this series entitled Wealth for Our Nation. Wealth for Our Nation, because that is the message of Black Wealth Empowerment Live, is to build wealth not for you, just for you, your family, but for our nation, because we have a new world to bring in. So we are happy to have with us tonight here in BWE Live Google Hangout, our brother Rasul Muhammad. I want to introduce him properly because there's three groups out there. There's those that remember Brother Rasul, like Brother Jesse said, from Shock of the Hour. We know him personally. There's those of us who have heard of Brother Rasul, and there's new believers that have never even heard of who Brother Rasul is. So I want to properly introduce our brother with the bio that was given to me. It says here, Rasul Muhammad is a student minister of the Nation of Islam under the tutelage of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Rasul is also the son of the Nation of Islam's eternal leader, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and Mother Tainetta Muhammad. He began his ministry visiting inmates at the correctional facility in Lompoc, California, where, in his own words, he was impacted by the bandit serving time behind bars. It has been over 30 years now since Rasul began his humanitarian ministry to help further the cause of raising the level of consciousness of countless people in North America, Central America, South America, Mexico, and the Caribbean islands. While he's known for his motivational, soul-stirring orator that has inspired audiences all over the world, his legacy is his relentless commitment to serving people in need through unconditional love. Brother Rasul began playing the piano at the age of 5, and to this day has not had any formal training in music. His innate talent began to develop over the years as he wrote and composed songs, even musical plays, while teaching dramatic arts at the University of Mexico. Rasul began building his popularity through performing around town in the city of, here's my Spanish, Cuernavaca, Morales, Mexico, where he was well received and loved by adoring friends and fans. His stellar performance was in 1993, where Rasul received the Palms of Gold Award at the prestigious premiere in Mexico City by the National Association of Press for the debut of his all-Spanish album entitled simply Rasul. He is known for his dapper suits and hats. Rasul's style blends with the suave and energetic moniker of contemporary jazz, R&B, gospel singing, and musicians of our time. The Language of My Soul is Rasul's latest CD and his first full album in English, with 11 soul-stirring tracks that seem to take the listener on a timeless journey through his life experiences. All tracks were recorded in Mexico while on a health sabbatical, inspired with the ideal of healing through music. Each song reaches deep down into dormant areas of the mind, body, and soul. It is jam-packed with love, peace, happiness, and joy. Lyrics that make you get up and move, something and inspiration to help restore hope, commitment, faith, and it makes us fall in love over and over again. With powerful elements of Latin, jazz, R&B, and reggae rhythms, Rasul's smooth vocals naturally complements each genre with ease. And we'll hear more from his album, The Language of My Soul. Without further ado, we want to welcome to Black Wealth Empowerment Live, our brother, your brother, and I love him dearly, brother student minister Rasul Muhammad. Brother Rasul, are you there?
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Walaikum salam.
I'm
Good to see you, brother.
good to be seen and good to see you, and it's such an honor to be on your show, your broadcast, and between you and Brother Jesse, man, you got me excited. I was sitting here wondering, wow, I want to see the guest too. Beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. And you all, to me, are some of the latest expressions of the wealth of our nation. You know, when you were talking about nation and wealth building, my mind went to the scriptures in the Bible when it talks about talent. The word talent is also used to describe the currency of exchange at that time of the people. And I thought how we are all born into the world with talent. And we're walking around today. We might be jobless. We might be lacking in what we call formal education, but we're not without skill. We're not without talent. And I think the first key to building wealth is building on the talent and the gifts that Almighty God Allah gave you when you were born. And you still walk around with it to this day. But have you used it to build a life for yourself? As you know in Supreme Wisdom or our lessons, it says in problem number 13, use your mathematical theology, you see, to secure what? Some benefits for yourself, such as money, good homes, friendship, in all walks of life. So when I look at you all and the energy that you're using to express this wonderful theme, this wonderful topic, and this wonderful, wonderful show that you were so gracious to consider and invite me on to, I'm looking at the expression of divine wealth, and we can build even more. So thank you so much for having me. And Brother Jesse, I can't say enough about you. You're one of our nation's heroes, if you would, because you took an idea and you worked that idea almost single-handedly with the help and guidance of Allah to carry the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's message to all of the people that are on these social networks, primarily under what is called the Twitter army. So that's up to you, Brother Jesse, Muhammad, and I ask that Allah will continue to bless you and your family. And I'm looking forward to tapping into some of that wealth of talent that you have to help me with some projects too.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, and Brother Daryl, you know I can't say enough about you, man. So, you know, we've been talking almost every day for the last couple of weeks or more. And but this is how you build wealth. You know, talented individuals network with each other, and it starts with an idea. You know, I used to always make the example in my lectures of why have one brother open up a spoon factory and another brother open up a fork factory and another brother open up a butter knife factory. Why not the spoon and the fork and the butter knife get together, network, pool their resources, resources, physically as well as financially, and open up a silverware factory. And that's the basic model and principle of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. When we can come together, if those of you who have similar talent, then go into business together. And our nation is absolutely full of it. And let me say also that because of our suffering, because of our pain, because of what we've been through, because of our pilgrimage, our journey as black men and women in America, well, that pain is the actual womb out of which our not only our wealth lies, but out of which our art is born. And that's why we are artistic in every single thing that we do. Everything that we do, there's a certain pizzazz about how we do it as black men and women. And it is because of the pain and the journey that we've been on, but never fail to acknowledge God. So thank you again. I'm so honored to be on this show.
Well, welcome, Brother Rasul. We're honored to have you, brother, because you have a wealth of experience. You've experienced the history of the Nation of Islam as it built the farmland and built grocery stores. So you have firsthand experience, more than most of us, on what it was that we did in the first rise, as we call it, prior to 75 with your father. And you know by experience, not by vision, but by sight, what can be done if we just unite under one banner for one cause, which is freedom and not really money. So, Brother Rasul, just feel free to share with us whatever Allah has put on your heart about the topic of wealth for our nation. How can we play in that role as individuals?
Well, you know, when you spoke of the history of our nation, yes, I mean, I'm a baby from the 60s, and I happen to have been born and growing up as a boy in what you might call the industrial commercial age of our nation. And that means that when I was little, to buy suits, to buy clothes, we went over there to our clothing store, our own clothing store, where we bought all of our clothes and shoes and socks and suits and pants and shirts and undergarments and ties and you name it. I grew up in the era where we could go to Yours supermarket on Cottage Grove in Chicago. And if you came out with all your groceries and you wanted a snack, we went to the Steak and Take that was right across the parking lot, you know, and we got the big, delicious, original sea boats, you know, which was this large fish sandwich that you didn't want to share, even though I know Muslims, if you have a full bowl of bean soup, and I think it applies to the sandwich too. If you got a whole sea boat, you're supposed to give your brother half, but you never wanted to. That's how good it was. Or you could continue to go across the parking lot, and we were in our own import store where imported goods came in, but our own store. Or you went over on 79th Street to Shabazz grocery store and Shabazz restaurant and bakery. Or you went over on also to our coffee shop, our meat packaging plant. That was the time that I grew up in, and it left a strong imprint in my life. I went to the Muhammad University of Islam, our own school. I visited our farmlands that we had and now have again under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the hard work of our brothers down there like Dr. Ridgely in Georgia. And we also have farmland in Michigan. But I grew up around this, so I grew up in the bubble of the actualization and realization of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us with regard to doing for self. I grew up in that age where in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, you had a progress section, and you could look at all the homes that believers lived in. This is what we want to see again. And I think that we have the wealth. Wealth and money should be understood as two separate realities. We have to learn how to manage money as well as our wealth. But I think first we have to identify what is our wealth. Some people ask me who think of my father as dead. They say, what was the will of your father? What did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad leave for his children? And I say this, and I say it again, and I say it now. His will was the greatest will that any father could ever leave in his absence, his children. And you know what that is? It was a working and functional knowledge of God and self. Even the Bible tells you to get acquainted with God is to get acquainted with self. My father left me in his absence a will and knowledge workable and functional of God. And God, you know, is the richest entity in the universe. And so what God is also yours if you surrender and submit your will to serve his will. When a person dies, and I'm not talking about my father, but when a person dies, they generally like them before they die to fill out what's called a will, right? Well, all of us that might be walking around with our head down because your father, your biological father, didn't leave you a will or didn't leave you an inheritance. Now, think about, if you would, God as your father, but not father as in the biological progenitor sense, but author, own being. And then look around the universe and see if you can't find what you've inherited from God. What God has willed for you is that you live your life abundantly and to the best, but according to his principles of success. Of success. So this is all available to us now, but we have to learn how to use it. If I may quote the words of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who said to me this. He said one day to me personally, he said, "You're very gifted, Rasul. Let me tell you how to use that gift." When you have a gift from Allah, and all of our gifts are from Allah, let me say that. But back to his words, when you have a gift from Allah, he said, unwrap it, open it, and give it back. The way you give it back to God is by way of service to humanity. That's my journey. That's my culture. That's our journey, and that must be our cultivation. How to unwrap the gifts and the talents that Allah has put in us and render it back to him by way of service to humanity. Nobody should be jobless if you're alive. To be jobless is to mean that you don't have any gift or any talent that you can hire your own self by. And I think that we all have a gift and talent. In fact, my father, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, said, every one of us is born in the world to do something perfect. Something perfect. Our challenge is the discovery of what that thing is that you are born to do perfect. So I
very good.
Go on, but talk to me.
Yes, please, Brother Rasul. The floor is yours, brother. Just share with us what Allah has put on your heart. Wealth for our nation. Just share with us, Brother Rasul. We're just so happy to see you, brother. So just continue to serve, continue to let the Spirit flow through you.
Well, thank you so very much. I mean, you're the wealth for our nation. Brother Jesse's the wealth for our nation. I'm wealth for our nation. Every one of our viewing and listening audience is the wealth of our nation. But we have to learn how to co-opt that wealth, how to co-opt that talent, those skills come together. And this is why when it comes to nation and all interpersonal relationships, it becomes a vital necessity that we learn the proper handling and treatment of each other. And when you read the scriptures of the Bible, as well as, more importantly, the Holy Quran, there's great emphasis on how we handle each other, how we treat each other, how we respect each other. You know, I think it was Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, who said, a man does not believe until he wants for his brother what he wants for himself. That's so beautiful. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that our brother's success is our success. So there's no need for us to harbor jealousy, insecurities, and envy. If Allah exalts one brother today over another, Allah favors whom He pleases. But every one of us are born destined, because the Quran says a fixed term that He give to every life. So every one of us have our day to shine. So don't be disgruntled because your brother's day is today. Yours might be tomorrow or next week, but you will not leave this earth without the opportunity of time you have been endowed with, you have been blessed with by Almighty God, Allah. So think better of each other. Do better by each other. Love one another as you want each other to love you. These are the fundamental keys. If you look at the chapter of program and position in Message to the Black Man, published in 1965, the first major published book of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which many look up as the textbook or the Bible of his teaching, and it truly is in many respects. But in program and position, it gives us what's called the blueprint, or the economic blueprint for our people. And when you look at that economic blueprint, it's very simple, if you would. It's not very technical, and it may not even sound professional. It may come off, as it is, very moral. They're moral principles. Number one, recognizing the necessity of group operations and activities. That's very important. This is a group operation. This is an activity that brings more and more talent and skilled individuals together to accomplish a common goal and objective.
That's right.
Tells us in that same chapter, program and position, dealing with the economic blueprint, it says, keep in mind that jealousy destroys from within. It absolutely does. Once you become jealous of your brother's progress, your brother's success, it begins to corrupt the divine nature that is within you. Yes, it truly does. You see, remember, you must want, brother, what you want for yourself. The last of these points of the economic blueprint, which I think is extremely important, that many of us overlook because we become so emotional in our disposition against white people that we fail to look at them and their successes as being developed on the basis of universal fundamental principles. Look at what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says. He says, observe the operations of the white man. The first thing he says is that he is successful. He works hard in a collective manner. Look at that, a collective manner. As long as we as black people are sick with the cancer of individualism, I'm just out to get mine. I'm out for me. I want to make sure I look good. And you don't realize that if your brother looks bad, you already looking bad. It says work hard in a collective manner, making no excuses for his failures. White folks don't make excuses for their failures. In fact, if you noticed in comparison, most of us, even the most religious of us, when we fail in a project, in a task, or something that we have purposed ourselves to endeavor in, we generally will make this remark: must not be meant to be. No, that's not smart. Look at what white folks do. They're the ones that have that motto, if first you don't succeed, try again. Try again. See, many of us are too superstitious, so we look at failure as being doomed. We look at wealthy people and successful people as if they all of a sudden did some magic hocus pocus trick and became wealthy. No, what we don't see is the road of every successful individual of trial and error. That's where policy is developed, through trial and error. With us in our individual lives, don't mock a man that's down, because down ain't out and sleep ain't dead. It just is the trial and error of life that really produces in us not only an ingenious mind, but a successful life. So, to close that point out, observe the operations of the white man, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says. He's successful. He works hard in a collective manner, making no excuses for his failures. You do the same. You do the same. Not to be like white folks, but to use the principles that white folks use that have catapulted them into great success in their world. We know they got it originally from us anyway, but we went to sleep. So get up and don't hate the man who's using the wisdom that's available to you to become successful. Use it, do the same, and Allah will bless you too.
Good. Thank you very much, Brother Rasul. That's a good explanation of the points that the messenger gave us there in Message to the Black Man. Brothers and sisters, please, we're going to have a question and answer session for Brother Rasul, so get ready and prepare your questions here in the next couple of minutes. Just go ahead and type them in the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group, your questions, and Brother Jesse will read them off here shortly to Brother Rasul. And don't go anywhere, because we are going to talk about his current album. We're going to talk about his album, The Language of My Soul. Brothers and sisters, we're going to talk about a couple of songs. We're going to let you hear those songs directly from the album. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful album. So stay tuned. You're going to be able to hear some of those songs, and Brother Rasul will tell you more about each individual song and what it means to him and how he produced them. Okay, so Brother Rasul, go ahead and share with us more. That was very, very beautiful, brother, because we have the books, we have the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Sometimes, we need someone to give it to us from a different perspective. All right, from a perspective based on their experience, their unique experience, and that's what you bring to the table. That's what you're offering us here today, and we want to give you as much time that you need. This platform is for 2 hours, and we have a whole another hour left, Brother Rasul. So please share with us as it pertains to what can we do. We have these talents, okay? How can we build those talents? How can we, grow those talents? How can we produce those talents to whereas we're not just doing it to survive, we're not doing it to get, a few creature comforts that we want to have, but how can we develop the mindset to think beyond self and to think more about our nation as it pertains to these gifts, these, as you call it, the wealth of gifts that God has given us. How can we go about doing that, Brother Rasul?
Well, Brother Darrell, you're absolutely correct with regards to different perspective. I'd like to clarify that point for some who may think that different perspective involves changing the teachings. Absolutely not. Different perspective, what comes to my mind is what the church would call a testimony. And what we need more of in our nation and in the mosque is for believers to stand up and make testimonies. Testimonies of how Allah guided and blessed them to create wealth for themselves and for their nation. We need testimonies of how God has intervened in their affairs, how God has come in their person. Think about that. We talk about Allah coming in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, yet we at the same time are not to worship any person or any man. That is because the coming of God in the person is exemplary of ultimately Allah, God, coming in every person. And it comes in our person as enlightenment of knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and truth made manifest through our flesh. No, we are not to worship the flesh, not to worship the person or any man, but we are to cultivate the flesh, cultivate the man based on the word of Almighty God Allah. It says in the scriptures, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Man has to grow into his divinity, even though, as the Quran says, we all come from Allah. And then to Allah is the eventual return. Well, that means that we are on a journey. Think over this. We are on a journey through this life. This is a transitory life. And we are being developed and cultivated and growing and changing and evolving every moment and second and millisecond of our existence. Excuse me. Of our existence. But the key is to continue and never lose our focus on God. On God. The God, the infinite, not God, the finite, which is our forms. Think over this. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I am a year away from 50 years old. And in my life, I've always been searching to find what is my role, what is my purpose, what is my contribution, or what will be my contribution to life. Part of the obscurity in my developing or finding, not developing, in discovering my talents and my gifts was trying to please others. When you get caught up in trying to please others, you become blind to what God has already given you to please Him and yourself. Now, I served for the last 26 years as a student minister in our nation. And the minister said to me, I would always be in the ministry. He's absolutely correct, because I love the Word. I love the truth. I love Him. And I love my Father. And I love the Almighty God, Allah. And I appreciate and love our people. Well, now, with that love, which the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said are the building blocks of the entire universe. I'm going to say that again. Love being the building blocks of the entire universe. You will never discover your purpose. You will never discover your talent that is from Allah until you put it to service, not for self, but for others that are in need. When you endeavor in a cause that serves the needs of others, that's when you discover your purpose in life. That's when you discover your talent and your gift that is given to you by Almighty God, Allah. So serving in the ministry, going back to Lompoc Penitentiary in 1983, when I first was given the opportunity to go in with some of my brothers there in Los Angeles, California, into Lompoc Prison outside of Los Angeles, in Lompoc, California, I fell in love with us. Not that I would like prison life. I don't think anybody likes or wants prison life. But I fell in love with the human being that was locked in bars. I fell in love with us. And that is where I believe my ministry began, and my desire to want to be in the ministry, not under the title minister, but in the ministry, which means to administer unto the people of God by the word. And later I discovered by my talent in music. So that brings me all the way up to music. Music has been my gift. As you stated from my bio, I've never had any lessons in playing the keyboard or piano. I think at the age of about 5 years old, my mother took us to the movies to see a movie back in the 60s with Peter O'Toole. The movie was called Lawrence of Arabia. And I remember very vividly falling in love with the soundtrack, the music from that movie, the music score. And so when we got home that day, we had a black upright piano that my mother would play. And I just jumped on there and started playing the tune from that movie, Lawrence of Arabia. And from then, I discovered that I could virtually play any and everything that I heard. And so, I mean, the rest is history. I'd like to also say that my first public performance on piano was when I was about 10 years old. It was in 1975 at the Salam restaurant, what used to be the Salam restaurant on Cottage Grove in Chicago, before over 500 people in attendance for a banquet that was being held there. And my brother, may Allah be pleased with him, Imam Warith Uddin Muhammad, came and asked me to go up and play the piano. And there's a shot of me in an old Muhammad Speaks newspaper, and our brother, student minister Carlos Muhammad, has from the archives, where I'm playing the piano at the then Salam restaurant. So that was my first public performance. I don't even remember what I played, but I've been playing ever since. It was only once I got to college that I really discovered that I didn't have a bad voice either. So one day I was playing football, and they had this rock band come and play at the school. And my friends, they started chanting, and this was down here in Mexico. They started chanting, "Que cante Rasul, que cante Rasul." You know, let Rasul sing, let Rasul sing. And my partners, they just picked me up and literally threw me on the stage. And I think the song that the band was playing, and I started singing with them, was Ebony and Ivory, Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney, I think it is. And then shortly thereafter, I started playing in piano bars and clubs down here, which gave me great exposure and experience. And that was back in 1983 when I started playing in the public. And that gave me great exposure. And during that time in the 1980s, when I was playing here in Mexico, I had the opportunity to play with some very great musicians. One was a great jazz musician who still performs today, Larry Russell, and his band that he put together of Mexican musicians, jazz musicians, called the Mexican Jazz Revolution. And one day when we were performing, a man came up and started playing. I didn't know who he was, and he was a legendary jazz musician who also has passed. His name is Dexter Gordon, the great legendary Dexter Gordon. I've got a chance to play with him on several occasions here in the city is Cuernavaca, Brother Darrell. Cuernavaca.
Yes, sir.
You know, Mexico. It's all right, man. You know, even in Texas, you haven't learned any Spanish yet? Shame on you, brother.
Yes, sir.
That was my great learning age in the 1980s with music, and meeting some great musicians and learning from them, including Stevie Wonder, and even on an occasion meeting the great Dizzy Gillespie, who taught us, shared a wonderful story. I went to a concert of his somewhere outside of Chicago with Mother Khadija Farrakhan, our great mother and First Lady of our nation. Took me with her to see Dizzy Gillespie, and we met him and spoke with him afterwards, and he told me, he said, "Man, I met your father and I knew that he was a divine man." He said, because I was invited to do an interview with the Muhammad Speaks newspaper in Chicago. And he said, and your father told me that the FOI would be there to pick me up from my hotel and take me to wherever the interview was going to be made. And he said, it happened to be at a time where it was thundering and storming and raining, something vicious in Chicago. And I said to myself, now how is Elijah Muhammad going to get me to this place where the interview is to take place in this rain? He said, well, sure enough, the FOI showed up on time. He said they took me, and as soon as we arrived at the place where the interview was going to be made for the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, he said the clouds opened up, cleared up, the rain stopped, the storm stopped, and he said right then and there, he said, I knew that man Elijah Muhammad had to be a man of God. So it was a pleasure to meet him, be inspired by him and his music. And well, here I am years later and still with my music. And it doesn't seem to me that I've lost, but instead I've gained in my music. And that's presented in my latest album that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has allowed me to do and giving me time with my health sabbatical, or through my health sabbatical over the last couple of years that I've been convalescing here in my parents' home in the country of Mexico. And I'm getting better by Allah's grace. And I have found great healing in the expression of my music. And that's why I call it the language of my soul, because music is my passion. It is the language of my soul. And I think the first song that I hope that you will play for the viewing and listening audience from that album, it's a very special song that I call simply Still. Still, still, because it's one where I'm reflecting on the changes in my life. And with changes, also, there is the formation of gaps. Gaps in your family, gaps in your friends, gaps in your circle of associates, because you're growing in a different direction, maybe from them. And so the song asks, will you still love me when I start to change? And I think that all of us can relate in our respective individual journeys in life of healing and cultivation. Will they still love you? It doesn't matter if they do or don't, because it's what you have to discover that's most important is that God, Allah, loves you individually. And one of my downest and sickest days during my sabbatical a year ago, a very close relative of mine called me up on the phone. And I was really in a lot of pain. And I didn't say it to them, and I generally don't talk about my pain. Maybe it's my own pride, but I don't like to talk about it. But she said these words to me. She said, Rasul, do you know that Allah loves you? And I said, oh, yes, Allah loves all of us. Allah loves all of our people. She said, no. She says, I'm not talking about that. She says, do you know that Allah loves you individually, not more or less than the next person, but individually? And when she said that, tears just started rolling out of my eyes, and I almost have to control it now, because That's a very powerful realization. To think that God loves you. You. That's powerful, man. Because, you know, we're hard on ourselves. We're never, excuse me, we're never good enough for our own expectations. And so, far be it for me to think that God, Allah, loves me. And then on top of it, forget expectations. Then when you reflect on your many errors and mistakes in the past, you would not even think that God would even be interested in you. And so that call, that statement was a breakthrough for me. And I think began my healing to realize that God actually loves me. And if God actually loves you individually, and you can acknowledge that and appreciate that, then you know what else is there? The fact that He's also interested in you. Interested in you. Wow, God's interested in me. What do you find interesting about me? Amongst all of these talented, skilled, and much more righteous individuals than me, what do you see in me that's interesting enough that you would, in spite of my shortcomings, still love me? Wow. So, would you play that song for me? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That I'd like to share with your listening audience. And please pardon me for getting a little emotional. I, I do a lot of this lately, but I ain't no chump though. I'm still me. But play it for them, please. Is it still playing? Brother Darrell?
Yes, sir. Let me see. They said they couldn't hear it on the feed, so we're trying to get that corrected now. We'll play it all over again. Bear with us real quick.
Yeah, I didn't hear it either. I heard it a little bit in the background, but
Okay, let's start all over again. Hold on a second.
I hope they didn't mistake the song.
I tried to be the friend that you wanted, the brother that you needed in your life. I always fought for your approval. As a man, your shining knight. Yeah. Well, I finally stopped to ponder, is it God or is it you I'm trying to please? Oh, how could I be so blind when my God has been there in all of my needs? It's Him I need to please, but will you love me? Keep me in your presence every morning and every night. Will you believe me when I'm trying to change? I want to be much better. Will you love me? That my insecurities come to play when I'm just seeking your love, not His love. How could I have neglected my duty and abandon my mission to serve my Lord? No, I wonder, will you love me? Keep me in your presence every morning and every night. Can you believe me when I say I'll change? Even though at times I fail, will you love me? Will you love me? Keep me in your presence every morning and every night. Will you believe me when I'm trying to change? I want to be much better. will you love me? Will you love me? Can you love me? Still, when I'm down but not out, when I'm asleep but not dead, when I'm down on my knees, in need, can you love me? Be my brother, be my sister, can you love me? Believers, believe. Still, will you love me? Believers, believe. Will you love me? Will you love me? Still.
Brother and sister, that is Still from Brother Rasul's current CD entitled The Language of My Soul. Still. That's one of 11 songs that's on his new album. You can go to Amazon and find it. You can go to iTunes. You also can go to CD Baby. We want to encourage everybody to go and purchase the album from one of those three places and enjoy the beautiful sound of Brother Rasul in that song called Still. Anything else on that song, Brother Rasul, you want to share?
No, I actually, I'd like to think it's self-explanatory, and I thought it was a good compliment to where we were in our discussion. I thank you for playing it. You know, there are 11 tracks or songs, as you said, on that album, and the entire album was recorded here in the country of Mexico, and it was all composed and written right here in Mexico also. And Mexico has proven to be a place of healing for me, and of course also being here in my parents' home and with my mother, which has been a great, great healing and inspiration for me. I know that you have a favorite song on there that you might want to go ahead and play that song, because since I mentioned my mother, because it really was inspired by her, you know, with a sort of a hip hop, I don't know, I call it almost like a little retro beat or flavor to it. But it's called
I love it.
It's called 19. And I'm just saying a lot that 19, there's power in that number. 19, there's a message. So let it rip, DJ.
Yes, sir.
There's a message in the number. 19, there's power in that number. 19, will pull you out your slumber. 19, there's God in that number. 19, the number of our Savior. 19, makes the devil wonder. 19, my God is bringing on the thunder. 19, we can continue making thunder. Triple darkness, eyes of lightness, to the trials and life that made them God. But mama told me so. There's some communication out there live. Oh yeah. is a message in the number. 19 is power in the air. Yeah. 19, oh boy, you watch your number. 19, God in the number. 19, the number of my faith. Makes the devil wonder. 19, my God is bringing on the under. 19, we can continue making wonders. It's too bad. It can happen, taking time to go your time. That I got to run. Destroy the enemy who try to keep us blind. It can happen, taking time to go your mind. 'Cause it's no time. Power and number 19. Destroy the enemy who tried to keep us blind.
All right, brothers and sisters, that is 19, Power in the Number, from Rasul's current album, The Language of My Soul. Brothers and sisters, you got to get that album. That song is one that you have to hear in your headset so you can hear the music going from ear to ear. It is just a beautiful, beautiful experience, brothers and sisters. We complain about, you know, the music that's out there now. We complain about, you know, the lyrics, but here's some music that you can play and listen to all the time. You don't have to worry about subliminal messages. It's just beautiful, brothers and sisters. So go to CD Baby, go to iTunes, go to Amazon, and pick it up. Pick it up. It's called Rasul, The Language of My Soul. Go ahead, Brother Rasul.
Also available on Google Play and several other sites. I'm not even sure of all of them, but it's definitely available at just about every musical site. that you can download music. The language of my soul is there waiting for you. So thank you so much, Brother Daryl. The CD does have a variety of genres, if you would, of music. When you put it all together, I like to call my music neo-gospel soul. Neo means new. Gospel, of course, is the word of the scriptures, the revealed word of God, word of truth. And the soul, well, that's where it all comes from. So I would call my music neo-gospel soul. And but this particular CD has so many transitions and so many change in variety. I don't know if you would play the song Cuba Libre. It's very significant, even though that particular song, I wrote it in Spanish, but it's significant in terms of my journey of healing that I've been on for the last couple of years, because I was able to spend some time in Cuba. Primarily, I went there when I developed glaucoma in one of my eyes, and this is why I wear these dark glasses, because I went blind in one of my eyes, and but I still have sight in my other eye. So, I'm blessed and I can see, and I'm not complaining. But the great blessing was spending time in Cuba and learning of the culture and being inspired by the people and its history. And that's in this song coming up. If you'll play it, it's called Cuba Libre, which means Cuba free, free Cuba, or Cuba is free. And the reason why I say it's free is because it has talent, it has skill, and it's an absolutely blessed and very, very, very blessed island there, only 90 miles south of the Florida Keys. And so it's very, very, very significant and very important to me. And it will also show you the variety of rhythms and melody that I have on this album or CD. Would you play Cuba Libre?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Thank you.
Ya no hay por qué quejarse, por lo mismo estás libre. Isla bendita, dime qué te falta. África agradecida, así también Jamaica, Dominica, Antigua, Venezuela, Cuba, Cuba libre, Cuba, Cuba libre, Cuba, Cuba libre. Cuba, Cuba libre. Perdona con enemigo. Para envidias no hay futuro. Paciencia, ve nomás lo que has logrado. Y la bonita, dime que te falta. África, agradecida, así también Jamaica, Dominica, Antigua, Venezuela. Cuba, Cuba libre. Cuba, Cuba libre. Cuba, Cuba libre. Cuba, Cuba libre. Una isla abandonada. Cuba, Cuba libre. Una isla negada. Cuba, Cuba libre. Una isla bendita. Una isla bonita. Lo ves, Cuba, ya estás libre.
Brothers and sisters, that is beautiful, beautiful music. Even if we don't know Spanish, we can still appreciate the beauty of that music. Brothers and sisters, you know, the best way to support Brother Rasul or any artist is not just to listen to their music, but to actually go out and support them by purchasing their album. So you definitely want to go out and add this to your collection, brothers and sisters. Add this to your collection and start building your collection around music like Brother Rasul's in the language of my soul. That is just simply beautiful, Brother Rasul, and we appreciate you allowing Allah to use you and being obedient to instructions that He's giving you to develop that talent and share it, as you mentioned before, share it with the world. Before we go into the next song, Brother Rasul, can you share with us healing music for healing? What's your ideal about that? And you're working on something right now, and you hope to come out with it soon about using music to heal.
Well, my mother shared with me how my father, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, said to her that music, color, and medicine were the true essence of the true religion of Allah. And so I saw great significance, without question, in that, because music, in truth, is healing. When I read some of the writings of Ivan van Sertima, in one of his books, he writes about an art that the Moors, the ancient Moors, before they even went into Spain, in northwest Africa, they had a science called chironomy or chironomy. I'm not quite sure the pronunciation, but it's the science of notation by way of gesture. And what they discovered is that every organ in the human body has a color and sound vibration correspondent. And so, as you know, the Moors are credited for the development of all string instruments, the guitar mainly, that we see classically in Spain or Andalusia, which of course was governed by the Moors for nearly 800 years, 790 I think to be specific. But the guitar, the cello, even the violin, all of these string instruments were developed by the Moors. And just as they tune up the guitar or tune up an instrument, likewise, when you are sick or ill in your body, what that is that particular organ is out of key. And so if you knew what the original key or sound vibration is of a particular organ, then by associating that sound, you can key up or tune up that organ, hence be healed. What they have in common between music and colors is vibration. Color, light is vibration. Sound is vibration. And so if we would learn how to be quiet and find our original key or the vibration of the divine, then no matter what's out of order in our body, in our mind, in our spirit, by association of sound, of color, as medicine, I believe that we can heal ourselves. And that's the experimentation that I'm doing right now with my own body. And I'm hoping that Allah will bless through my music and my songs.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Brother Rasul. Brothers and sisters, you're hearing it first right here at BWE Live. You're seeing Brother Rasul probably like you've never seen him before, as they say on MTV, uncut. All right, so this is a unique opportunity, brothers and sisters. You are being blessed right now for this rare experience, the Rasul experience that we're having here with Rasul, the man, the spirit, and Rasul, the music. So what's the next song you would like for us to share this evening, Brother Rasul?
Well, it was last year sometime that I was looking at CNN, and I was listening to all of these horrendous reports about the ill treatment and abuse of women, rape, killings, of course, throughout Africa, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in India, and in many of them it was the oppression of women and girls from being able to go to school and get an education. And some of it was so horrendous that I saw that it literally led me to comforting myself by playing the piano, and in playing, I developed this next song that is themed or given the title from the words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, "No nation can rise higher than its woman." Because also, as you know, that even though these are many Islamic countries over there in the East that oppress, abuse, mistreat women, this is not in the teaching of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, who absolutely taught his people and taught us the value of education and that women should be educated right along with men. So this is some barbaric expression of African and Arab and even Black and Hispanic, so-called Latino people over here in the West. We're not exempt of the horrendous stories that we hear over in the East. We do that here also. The suppression of the talent and the gifts that Allah has put in our women and girls, the suppression of that talent by not allowing them to get an education. I read in the news some years ago how this was in Brazil, where a great number of women, or great percentage of the women in Brazil, were not given an education because they did not feel that it was important or necessary that women get an education if their role was to be rearing children and keeping house and caring for the husband. This is a great, great mistake. When I was studying for a while, for about a year, we lived in Cairo, Egypt, in the 1970s. And I remember the percentage there of women that actually got an education was only about 20% that actually went to school and got a formal education. And the reason or rationale was the same. They didn't see why a woman should get an education if her role was, in essence, to be locked up at home, rearing children and caring for the husband. This, again, is a grave mistake. And look at us today. In the 21st century, we're hearing reports of young girls being killed, raped, kidnapped, in our own countries. This is sad. And so this is where this song comes from. And if you would play it, again, I think the words are self-explanatory. What I'm actually into the music and into the lyrics. So the ministry is really now in song, in lyrics and music.
Rise higher than its woman, 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 your nation can rise higher than its woman, woman, woman. Your nation can rise higher than its woman, woman, woman. Mothers, fathers, prepare your daughters for the future, where no nation can rise much higher. Fathers, love and take care of your daughters. Without them, we've got no future. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Fathers, educate your daughters, and each generation can be better. Can get better. Ooh, yeah. Your nation can rise higher than its woman. on your daughters. Never leave them alone with their fathers. You must guide them for the future. Yeah. Fathers, love and protect your girls from the wiles of this world. Hey, hey, hey. We must treat them right for the future. Mothers, fathers, prepare your daughters for the future. When no nation can rise much higher, prepare for the future. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Brothers and sisters, that is off Brother Rasul's latest album, The Language of My Soul. No nation can rise higher than its woman. Brothers and sisters, that's more than beautiful lyrics. That's beautiful music. So you definitely should pick up a copy. Go to CD Baby. Go to Google Play. Go to iTunes. Go to Amazon. And there type in Rasul, The Language of My Soul. Get your copy today, because it's beautiful music, and we have to continue to support beautiful music if we want to continue to hear beautiful music. We have to support it. So, Brother Rasul, any other songs you want to play? We have Brother Jesse has some questions pertaining to the first portion of your talk there, the inspirational piece. But what else on the album that you want to share with the listening audience so they can go ahead and pick up a copy when we conclude this broadcast?
I don't know. I guess to show, like I said, we try to give a variety of sounds and whatnot, and they also reflect my travels in life. So you'll find the Eastern sounds. You'll hear the tabla from Pakistan or India. You'll hear African rhythms, Caribbean rhythms. There's flavors. There's a song on there, of course, that has a reggae kind of flavor to it, which is called Forgiveness. From the flavors, I guess, that I've adopted from the Caribbean. There's a song, the last song on the album is really, I guess it's a house beat that is both English in the first part of it and Spanish in the latter part of it. And it's talking about time to make a new man. You might want to play that one, and then we could go to some of the questions and answers.
Time and what must be done. You see, because time dictates the agenda. That's what the minister taught me. Time dictates the agenda. So we got to know the time. It's time to make a new man. We've got to make a change. It's time to make a new man. Yeah, yeah. Make a change. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. There's no time to waste. We've got to make haste. Our world keeps crumbling while our leaders keep mumbling. Time keep changing. We must stop waiting for others to do what we must now do for ourselves. Yeah, I'm telling you. Oh. There's no time to waste. This ain't about race. The human heart is dying, cause in our world we stop living. How long do you think we can live like this? How long do you think we can live like this? Open your heart. Open your mind. Open your heart and stop loving. Time to make a new man. We've got to make a change. It's time to make a change. It's time to make a new man. We've got to make a change. It's time to be a change. There's no time to waste. You've got to make haste. Our world keeps crumbling while our leaders keep mumbling. Time to keep a change. We must stop waiting for others to do time to make what we must do for ourselves. Ay, 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 esto sí. Es el ritmo de mi alma. Todos, venga, canta conmigo. Es fácil. Es el tiempo de cambio. Quiero ser un hombre nuevo. Como venir. Es el tiempo de cambio. Dime que me siento. Quiero ser un hombre nuevo. Es un tiempo de cambio. Es un tiempo de Quiero ser un hombre nuevo. Quiero ser un hombre. Es un tiempo de cambio. Ay, 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 quiero ser un hombre nuevo. ¿Cómo ves mi ritmo? Ay, ay, ay. Tiempo de cambio.
Brothers and sisters, you heard it first here at Black Wealth Empowerment Live. Brother Rasul's latest album, The Language of My Soul. You know what, brother, that reminded me. I was listening to it. I remember the minister said that he don't mind us dancing. We just need to have a purpose. We just need to have a purpose to celebrate. We just need to have something to celebrate and dance about. So he doesn't have any problem with it. And this is the kind of music I'm sure he would want us to celebrate and have a good time listening to. You know, we are social creatures and we have a good time, and it's part of our spirit to enjoy music and to enjoy socialization with other people. And this is the kind of music that we can do it with.
No doubt. That last song was to bring the salsa out you, boy. You know these. Yeah, man, I love to dance. In fact, when I was teaching dramatic arts, theater here in Mexico back in the 80s, I used to put on plays and choreograph musicals. So there was a lot of dancing. I loved it to dance, and I still do. You know, dancing and singing and performing is not something that you intellectualize. It's not something you have to think about and give purpose in the way that you mentioned. I know what the minister meant by those words if he said it like that. But the truth of the matter is, once you decided to live your life according to the principles and the moral statutes of God, then dancing comes natural. And when you hear a certain rhythm, you just can't help but start moving to the rhythm of that beat. You can't help but start feeling the melody or feeling the flavor and the sentiment in the song, even if it's in another language. Somehow or another, you are able to understand it. So this is natural for us. Music and dancing, it's natural. The problem is we have to clean up. We have to clean up morally. And as we clean up morally, then we'll begin to sing a new song, play a new melody, and dance a new step. So, the future is very bright by Allah's will and His guidance through His messenger amongst us. So all praise is due to Allah. Thank you so much for the exposure.
Yes, sir.
And dear brother Jesse, I'm so honored. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Brother Rasul. Thank you. Brothers and sisters, this is not the last of Brother Rasul. You'll see, as far as him, Rasul, the music, this is just the beginning. You'll see more and more of Brother Rasul. You can go to his fan page, which is Facebook fan page / Rasul, facebook.com/Rasul. Go to his fan page. It says music band, I think, at the top, and like it and join, because that's where he will be posting a lot of his activities, a lot of the things that he's going to do to promote this album, and all the activities that Rasul, the artist, is going to do. So make sure, brothers and sisters, you go to Facebook fan page for Rasul and like it and join, so you can keep up with all the developments of Brother Rasul and his latest album, The Language of My Soul.
And our website will be up. The Rasul website, Rasul Online, should be up over the next few short days. It's a very beautiful website put together by one of our wonderful Muslim brothers on the East Coast, Brother Chris Muhammad. I'm very proud of his work, and we'll be able to see it and enjoy it over the next few days.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, brothers and sisters, YouTube channel. Brother Rasul is developing a YouTube channel, so you can interact with him directly like you're doing now via video, live streaming, as well as his music and a lot of other stuff. So once again, this is not the last of Brother Rasul that you'll see and hear. So let us go ahead into those questions that have been waiting there in the queue. So if we can ask these few questions, and then we'll end with one of his songs. All right, Brother Jesse? All right, Brother Rasul?
Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Brother Rasul, brother. I'm over here jamming. The only reason I'm staying sitting is because we're trying to be professional. Otherwise, I would have been up saucing with you, brother. Thank you so much for this wonderful experience. So we have several questions that we have had submitted, but I know we're only going to get to a few of them, so I'll just start and ask. First question, my brother, is a sister asks, Sister Brandy Muhammad, we would like to know your opinion on why do you think black businesses in general are in business for only a short period of time, and how does a business sustain itself for the long run?
Well, I'm no guru in business. I want to make that very, very clear. Um, but I have found in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad are the fundamental principles that we need for any science. And the science of business requires a key point called management. Management. And if you look up that word by definition, management, it will be very rewarding to you because we fail because we're poor managers of what we achieve. We're poor managers of what we've got. And so we generally are not able to build wealth. And of course, sadly, we are very poor in being able to protect and keep wealth. So we almost lose it as quickly as we get it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad mentions in, I believe it's a Message to the Black Man, about that senator who opposed the appropriation of funds for an educational institution that was based on the fact, as that senator said in 1923, we're not going to teach the Negro those three basic sciences. The science of business, the science of mating or relationship, and thirdly, the science of warfare. And the last one, the science of warfare, goes, I think, very much in conjunction with the first one, the science of business, because as many are realizing today, business is warfare. It literally is warfare. But warfare in dictionary is defined as conflict resolution. And in anything that we do in life, we have to be prepared, open, and not surprised when we run waiting for you other than the opportunity to endeavor in it. But there's going to be challenges. Management, if you look at the first three letters of the word manage, it's man, man. And God has given us this life, and that God has given us these gifts that we might manage them for the benefit of our own self and in service to others. Our businesses fail because of poor management, and I think they might even suffer because of poor objectives and goals. A teacher said to me once when I was in college, studying business administration, she said, if you make your goal in business something other than money or monetary gain, you will always get support from places you do not expect. And I think to set yourself up for that kind of circumstance, you have to make sure that your purpose in business and your goal in business is providing a service and answering a communal need.
Very good. Very good.
Beautiful, beautiful. The next question, you already touched on the second one. A brother asked about business and business being warfare, and you just actually answered that in that response, Brother Rasul. Praises be to Allah. The next question comes from Brother Monique Muhammad. He says, I have a gift at coaching and mentoring. I have testimonies, and I'm building a blog and a website. What other steps should I be taking to further develop my gift and my talent?
Thank Almighty God Allah every waking moment of your life. You see, when we don't give the praise, or as the Christians would say, give the glory to God, then that actually, in my opinion, it arrests the full potential of the gift. So give thanks to God. I don't know how many other steps he may not be doing, but I know that first one is the most important. I remember after about 20 years of service in the ministry, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan said to me, he said, now you can do your music, son. He said, because you now have Allah in his proper place. He said, if you would have started with the music, he said, your ministry would have been behind the music. But now that you started with the ministry, which is an important service to our people, now your music comes behind your ministry, and Allah in your ministry is out front. So it is being thankful and grateful to Almighty God Allah and giving thanks to the Creator, who is the giver of gifts and is the author of your very life and also the cause of your death. And all of us shall return to him. So, and then we will be questioned on what we did with our talent, with our skill. So I don't know the steps for my brother, but I know the first one is give thanks to Almighty God Allah for whatever you have to give.
Yes, sir. That's right. Praise be to Allah. The next question comes from Sister Carla. Our sister says she has become fascinated with the navy bean, and she is trying to develop several food products from it. Her question to you, Brother Rasul, is, she said, I believe I once heard that Allah blessed the navy bean 7 times. Have you heard this, and what does it mean?
No, I've never heard that, and that doesn't mean that it wasn't said, but I never heard it, and but what difference does it make? Where did we get the whole idea of the navy bean from? We got it from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching, and he got that from Master Farad Muhammad, Almighty God Allah in person. Isn't that good enough? I don't know about all these other sayings. There's a whole lot of sayings up there that, the messenger said this, the messenger said that, and, well, I don't know, of whether or not all of them are legitimate or not. I don't consider myself any authority. I only know what I know. But what we all know is good enough, So with that, I mean, my mother told me that, speaking of the navy bean, she told me that my father could make the most delicious pot of bean soup that she had ever had. And he taught her how to make bean soup. And my mom's bean soup is, it's deadly.
Watch out now. The sun almost down now. Watch out now. Praise be to Allah.
A few FOI out there, they can make a mean pot of bean soup. And I'm one of them. But when you look and you study the nutrients that are in that navy bean, and also how the military of this country has used that navy bean because of not only its nutritional value, but it also absorbs radiation in the body. And so today, you have all of us using these cell phones, and we're exposed to so much radiation that really everyone that has any knowledge should have a bowl of navy bean soup every day, regardless to what your meal or menu is. But put that navy bean soup in there every day. A dosage of that is like the medicine that you need to become immune to the high exposure of radiation we are experiencing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. We got 2 more questions, Brother Rasul. This is from Brother Troy. He asks, while you were in Detroit, did you do any banking with Muslim-owned banks? Or would you advise using Muslim-owned banks in the U.S. when it comes to buying land or commercial real estate?
No, I did not. I was not aware of any Muslim banks in Detroit, although I would imagine that they have to be some, particularly in Dearborn, Michigan, where there's the largest concentration of Arab Muslims outside of the Middle East in the United States. I'm sure they have some kind of banking system, but I never endeavored in that, and I would not advise against it. I think we should support anything that is Muslim owned and Muslim run. The Islamic banking system is one that's in keeping against the principle of usury. So as you have all these compound interest in everything else that you do in the American system of banking, in the Islamic system of banking, you don't have that interest, which is usury. And what you only have, but you do have what's called a loan fee and a banking fee, because of course the entity itself has to make money. But you'll find it, I think, more user-friendly and more righteous in its practice than any other banking system there is. I have heard that there were several Muslims that were thinking about putting their dollars together and opening up credit unions. And I think that's a wise thing to do, you know. But we have to build all of our business, even and especially in banking. We have to build it on trust. And if we don't build what we do on trust, trustworthiness, honesty, and sincerity, then that will be the thing that will prevent that business from flourishing.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And last question comes from Brother Will. He wanted to know, he's clear on spiritually what he thinks you would like to accomplish with your album, but from a business standpoint, is there something in particular you would like to accomplish that we all can help you with?
Well, maybe you can speak to that, Brother Jesse. And that's why I'm hanging out with y'all.
That's right. Yes, sir.
One thing that I think would be good advice to us: identify your strengths and your weaknesses, and stay in your lane once you discover it. You know, I'm no smart man in business or finances and marketing and all of those different things. You know, my strength is what you're listening to, the ability to deliver the word and the ability to sing and write songs and compose and arrange music and the cultural arts. Those are my strengths. So, and the minister advised us in the ministry, you know, let somebody else deal with business, because business has a way of taking away from the spirit of the ministry, because there are other things that we do in business that are not compatible with the administration of the spirit. So what I'd like to do with my album, what I'd like to do with this dimension of my ministry called the music, is I'd like to see it marketed. I'd like to Allah to bless me to use this genre or this avenue of music, of art, to reach as many human beings on the face of the earth as possible. And I think that music is one of those fields or dimensions where we can deliver the light and the truth and the word to its broadest expression, regardless of creed, class, race, or even color. And that's what my interest is. So whatever my brother has to offer that might help facilitate that goal, I welcome it. And you can reach me on Facebook, you can reach me on Twitter, or just write me. My website will be up, inshallah, within just maybe less than a week. And you can go right to my website, which is going to be very interactive. And I would love to join forces with many of us out there that have the talent and the skill that can facilitate the actualization and materialization of each other's goal. I think that's what it's all about. If I could close on this question with this point, I was watching an evangelist one day on TV a few years ago who said these words. He said, some of us are born in the world with the vision, the vision. And he said, others are born in the world with a vision to facilitate the vision. He said, the problem is these people have a difficulty finding each other because we don't advertise. We don't talk about our dreams, our goals, and our objectives. So that means that the people who are born with the gift and the talent to facilitate your gift and your talent never discover that you're there waiting on them. So that's how I would put it.
Yes, sir. I believe that was the last question from Brother Jesse. You want to play one more song, Brother Rasul?
Well, I think that would be very appropriate if we closed out with my father's song. I call it Father, You Will Always Be. And it's a song I wrote several years ago.
Uh-oh. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. You can play it.
You say you wrote it several years ago.
Yes.
I was just trying to cue it up.
But did a revised version, if you would, in the studios here in Mexico with some very talented engineers and musicians right here in my home city and state of Morelos, Mexico. The song is Father, You Will Always Be. Please play it.
Memories of the words you shared still remain on my mind. No matter how far away I go, they still remain deep inside. They became the center of my life, even as I wrote this song. Father, I love you so, you will always forever be in my life. Father, you will always be. Even as a boy, my pride, my joy was standing by your side. And no matter how busy you would be, Father, you made some time for me. Oh, now I realize what I have inside. A God-given love for you. Father, I love you so. And you will always forever be in my words, in my ways, in my deeds, forever. Ever, ever. In my words, in my ways, in my deeds, in my life. I've often wondered, how could this be? this life, not just for me. The least I can do is bow down and pray. And now I realize what I have inside, a God-given love for you. Father, I love you so, and you'll always forever be in my deeds. Father, you will always be in my life, in my ways, in my deeds. Never, Father, you will always be in my deeds. In my words, in my way, in my deeds, and everything I say, in my deeds, Father. Oh yeah, Father, I'll always be forever, ever, ever in my life, Father.
Father, you always be.
Always.
Off of Rasul's current album entitled The Language of My Soul. Brothers and sisters, you heard it first here at Black Wealth Empowerment Live. We're happy that you joined us and went a little bit over to experience the Rasul experience, both in the word, the man, and the music. Brothers and sisters, you can pick that up tonight right after this broadcast. Go to CD Baby, Google Play, go to Amazon, go to iTunes. Pick up your copy tonight. You deserve it, and you should get it for you and your family, and spread the word. That is Rasul, The Language of My Soul. A beautiful, 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 beautiful piece of music, and we all can enjoy it for our families and ourselves. Go ahead, Brother Rasul.
No, I'm just saying thank you. Thank you. I'm very grateful for the exposure that your format has given me to share what Allah has blessed me with. And I pray that Allah will bless us all to continue to grow under the light of God that comes from the teaching and the character example of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I'm very grateful. That's all I can just continue to say. And of course, Ramadan Mubarak, as we are, I think, in our last 7 days now of the month of fasting and devotion to Allah. It's been a wonderful, wonderful experience for me. And I'm on target, and it's dark now here in Mexico, so the sooner we say goodbye, the sooner I go down and soup.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, brothers and sisters, we want to thank you for hanging in there with us. We want to thank you for being with us another week. This is broadcast number 7. And we just want to thank once again our brother Rasul Muhammad, for sharing his soul and his music with us this evening. Brothers and sisters, once again, pick up that album tonight. Don't procrastinate. You deserve it. Your soul deserves it. So pick it up today. CD Baby, Amazon, Google Play, and also iTunes. And this won't be the last of Brother Rasul here on the BWE Live Hangout. So we'll have him back real soon, and continue to put your questions in there, and I'll see if I can talk Brother Rasul in going into the private, elusive, exclusive Facebook group and answering some of your questions. If not, make sure you go to his fan page. That's facebook.com/Rasul. Go to his music fan page book and the fan page group page there, and you'll be able to keep up with what's happening with Rasul the music. All right. With that being said, Brother Jesse, back over to you to close out, and we'll greet everybody goodbye. What do you got over there, Brother Jesse?
You.
Yes, sir, Brother Dow. Well, first, again, we thank Allah so much for our beloved brother, Brother Rasul Muhammad, for a wonderful presentation. His spirit, his music got us all lively. And the Elusive Exclusive Facebook group, we definitely want to have Brother Rasul to go in to read the responses of the people as they listen to your music, brother. They said it was phenomenal. It was touching. They said it was a form of healing for them, and they're going to buy it as we speak, brother. So Allah truly blessed us tonight having you on, brother. So continue, brothers and sisters. We know that the Elusive Exclusive group is not just for these broadcasts, but it's for every day that we should interact, support, and build with one another. So that's it on my end, Brother Rasul. As Brother Nuri said, Pookie Muhammad has made the Adhan, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you once again, brothers and sisters. And look forward to some announcements that we're going to have for the next broadcast. We have a lot of exciting things in gear for you over the next couple of broadcasts. So without further delay, we want to leave you in the greeting words of peace, of Assalamu alaikum, and also with Human Nature, off of the album by Rasul called The Language of My Soul. Listen to it as we close out.
Liberate me, educate me, conjugate me, correlate me, don't segregate me, come on, respect me, it won't hurt to embrace me, yeah. You might want to forgive me. Yeah, it's my human nature, feeling the need to be a part. Yeah. Can we all get along without some feeling the need to control others? Oh, we must learn to be true brothers to one another for peace. You got to include me, don't exclude me. I won't let you forget me. This ain't simple jealousy. Why not secure me with your love from above, baby? Everybody needs his love today. Oh, it's my human nature, feeling the need to be a part. Oh, can we all get along without some feeling the need to control others? Oh, we must learn to be true brothers to one another for peace. Oh, it's just human nature, feeling the need to be apart. Why can't we all just get along without some feeling the need to control others? We must learn to be true brothers to one another for peace, world peace, world peace, world peace, yeah, world peace. For you, for me, for me, for you, world peace, yeah.
Rasul, the language of my soul. You can pick that up tonight at CD Baby. You can get it from Amazon, Google Play, and also from iTunes. So that's the language of my soul, Rasul. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Brother Rasul. Love you.